Hi, my name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Today, in my opinion, I'll be taking a look at the best bass amp sim going on iOS. It is the Laney Digbeth Bass Amp by Aurora DSP, so let's oge! This is the bass plugin I've been waiting for on iOS. No matter what your style, the Laney Digbeth Bass Plugin has you covered with more customization than you can poke a stick at. And it's a dream to use for brutal metal bass tones whilst retaining that important low end. The Laney Digbeth Bass Plugin by Aurora DSP is available on all iOS devices and M Series Macs for just $24.99. It is also available as a VST from the Aurora DSP website on sale for $59, normally $99. Now let's take a look at what it offers. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here and just go through some of the stuff. So you've got 3 pedals here. You've got an octaver, you've got this custard factory compressor, and you've got a bass distortion. You also get a bass distortion from Aurora DSP. So that is their own pedal that they've added. Of course, the amp is the Digbeth 500 watt bass head. It's a FET tube preamp, 3-band EQ, 4 mid-band modes, and different characteristics. Plus it comes with this tilt EQ seesaw for tonal adjustment. You've got 3 cabs here, 4 mics to choose from, and it just sounds so damn good. You have an effects rack. You've got a 10-band EQ, a sonic optimizer, and you've got a limiting amplifier and leveling amplifier, so 2 compressors there on the end of the chain. Bass dynamics, this is where it gets really magical. So you've got this split stereo chain here, so you can actually come in here and separate the low end from the mid and high end and put all that distortion over up this end and really get that low tone to split the signal. It's got side chaining, compression, noise gate. This thing is a demon, I'm telling you. Also, so there's our crossover modes here. And you've got an EQ at the end of the chain with a slam limiter, a full 10-band EQ. It's just amazing, this thing. So let's get into it and have a look at a demo. Okay, so here we are in Logic with my brand new single that was released for Songtember 2024 from FMC called Fancy Feast. Now, this was a metal track and I recorded a whole lot of subscribers' animal sounds here as the vocals. You can see them, but I've muted all of these. So we've just got drums, a single bass track, and 2 guitars. Now, I've put the effect on here. Now, the release didn't have this effect, and I really wish it did have now that I hear this. So I'm going to shut up for a second. This goes for about a minute 20 odd, and we'll play this. Let's oge! Oh dear, the bass in that is thundering. Let's go back to the start here and we'll hit stop, go back to the start. Let's solo this track so you can hear what's going on. I'm going to bring up the effect in here. We're just going to remove it, bring it in, hit play. Okay, so straight away, man, so impressive. When you take off the effect, there's so much low tone in there, but the problem with a lot of distortion is that you lose a lot of that low grunt when you add distortion. It gets that real changy. It's a hard thing to explain, and it gets lost in the mix sometimes, and you really want to have that bottom end in there. So let's see how this is achieved. All right. Let's come over here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this section here. So this is where we're able to split everything over. We've got this crossover section here. Immediately we've got a low cut and high cut. So we can turn this on and off. So we can send a low cut, and we can decide where we want this. We can decide the slope as well. So we can go in and change the slope of the low cut. We've got a high cut as well. Can turn this on and off. So those are on by default. We've just set to the default tone at the moment. But this is where it gets really exciting. This is our frequency between our low tone, so our low tone over here, and the mid and high tones. So if I go back to the start and we hit play, let's bring it back here, make sure it's all on. So you can see as we drag this across, we're picking up the distortion over here, and all that low is being ripped out. So you're able to get a balance here. Now you've got three different types, three different algorithms here. You can turn this off as well. Now you'll notice when you turn this off, down the bottom here, this becomes a single chain. When we turn it back on again, you've got a double chain. So the bottom section is the bass, and the top section is the mid to high sections, yeah? You can solo these. So now we're just hearing this mid to high. Now we're just hearing the low. That is rumbling so much. All right, while we're here, we've got a noise gate down here, so we can turn up our noise gate. We've got our input and output. Let's go through these things. Now I'm gonna just make sure this is on a loop. Just bear with me here. We'll put this on a loop. So we're just hearing this bass over and over. Okay. Now we'll focus on the top half. So this is for our mid section. So I'm gonna solo just the mid section, the mid to high section. And we've got these four pedals. So we've got an octaver. This is just wild. Okay. We've got a compressor. So you've got your wet dry mix, presence, compression, your volume. And you can decide between a slow, medium, and fast up here. So click between those three. We'll turn that off for now. Then we've got these two distortions. So we'll go first. This is the Blackheath, and this is a Laney. All these three are Laney pedals. So you've got a color, we've got volume, gain, range. Then we've got this Aurora plugin. Now these two combined are just savage. So remember, this is just the mid to high EQ at the moment. We can blend this distortion in. We've got bass in here, and again we have four algorithms over here. Three of them actually. You've got gain and level. Just beautiful. Oh my God, when you bring that back in and have that low end in there. So next is of course our head, the Laney Beast. Yes, the Digbeth. You've got your FET volume. Now you can change here between FET and tube just by clicking here. So now we're FET to tube. You've got a tube drive. You've got your tube volume, bass, mid, treble, and this is super interesting. So you've got this tilt here. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. So notice what happens when we, so this tilts the EQ. So whatever you've got set here, this is your modes. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 modes of EQ here for your mids. So you can hear what's going on there. It's pretty sensational to be able to tilt that tone even further. Now there's another one of these further on. Let's bring everything back in. So you can hear we've brightened that up. And it's just finding that balance for yourself, yeah? Next, we have our 3 different cabs. I love this middle one, it's so beefy. You can access them down here as well. You've got also 4 different microphones, and if you're not happy with any of these, you can load your own customs, right? Custom IRs, up to you. Totally so customizable, this thing. But what I love down here is this vibe, and this can take this cab from a dark, listen to that. Now let's solo the mid to high. I like this around here. Bring everything back in. All right, let's focus down here on this section. So this is our low end. Let's solo the low end. Wow. Here we have a compressor. So we've got our threshold, ceiling, attack, release, ratio, so your normal compressor. You've got a side chain here as well too, that you can side chain into itself. You've got the gate down here as well. Now this above and below placement, I actually haven't read this. Let's see what it sounds like. So definite difference there. Now remember, we're just on the low end here. Again, cabinets. Next along the line, here's where we have our EQ. We've got an optimizer, so the EQ, 10 band EQ up here, yeah. We've got an optimizer in here. And we've got these 2 compressor units. Again, with nearly every sound I've made with this, I haven't even needed to touch any of these. They just sound great. We're going to run through some presets. Here's the added thing. Let's go back and solo this low end. You also get this mammoth processing, so it's got to maximize, and it's got its own growl in here as well. Let's pump this up a bit. totally blown away by this thing. It just sounds so damn good. There's so much customization to be had here. Plus, I haven't even finished yet, all right? So lastly, we've got all this, and then on the end here, we have a finishing EQ as well. So it has our bass treble blend, so we can go in here again. So this is almost like the tilt again at the end. If we come out of here, we'll make sure that just the bass is soloed for this. Come back. So you've got this added extra tilt section at the end. You can turn off this EQ, yeah. But here's where you can pull out some of these ugly frequencies around here. You may not want to use this. You could use whatever EQ you use on the end, right? You've got a Q, gain, frequency, and you've got this slam limiter just to finish shit off at the end. Wild stuff. It's so good. Totally blown away by this thing. Now, you've got presets. Yes, you have presets coming up the wazoo. Of course you have presets. Let's come in here. We've got factory presets. Here's our factory. Now, a good starting point over here is to start. So this is our just our one signal chain. You can have a single signal chain if you want as well too, yeah? So when we come over here, you'll see this crossover's turned off. As soon as we turn it on, splits everything back out. That's completely up to you. But it's a good starting point, I think, if you're going to have a single chain. And again, where it says Aurora DSP, you've got a two-way starting point here as well. Nice way to start. Then we can get straight into your pedals. So let's go through some of the effects, some of the presets. Now, if you make a change to something in here, you've got an undo and redo button, so that's cool. You have MIDI learn in here as well too, so you've got a MIDI learn, that's wonderful. Plus there's a tuner, of course. There's a bloody tuner in here. Wouldn't be complete. This thing's got everything. It's beautiful. Turn off MIDI learn. See, so once you hit MIDI learn, everything's available for you to MIDI learn at your time. Oops, what happened there? Let's run through some presets here. This is an octave feeder, this one's called. Take out the drums. Good God. Man, I love this crossover. Just being able to get in there and add as much low end as you need. So as you can see, there's heaps of presets. You've got 3 sections in here of presets. You've got your user. Just wonderful stuff. Again, every time I use it, I just set it to a default and let's Oge. That's it. Let's find our pedal sound. Let's get in here. Damn. I'm loving this ad. Let's stop. Damn. This thing is so good. I can't give it enough praise. It is $24.99. Absolutely worth every cent. This is now my metal bass amp. I'll be using it on everything. Now, this was done with a 5-string bass. It sounds sick on a 4-string bass. It just is that good. I can't recommend it enough. As I said in the beginning, I'm spewing that I released this song without this. And I had it, but I just went, we'll just leave it as it is. We'll save time for the demo. Wow. All right, let's get out of here for the day. So that is the incredibly powerful and easy to use Laney Digbeth Bass Plugin by Aurora DSP. It's available on all iOS devices, M Series Max for $24.99. Also as a VST from the Aurora DSP website for just $59 on sale, normally $99. What a sick bass amp. Are you enjoying the content here on the channel? Please let me know in the comments below, and by smashing a like, hitting the subscribe, and ringing the bell to keep up with all of the latest app demos and live streams. Time for me to hit the road. Remember, do what makes you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together and stay awake whatever you do, and let's Oge.